Hi, and welcome to Libby Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our question of the week. Tom, what do you got for us?
So, do you think it could be disrespectful to investigate a location?
No. Hard no.
Hard no.
Been doing it for 16 and a half years now. Depending on the location, like if you're talking about 9/11, yes, but...
Yeah, and it's kind of what I was thinking, like, and, you know, do you think there's sites that shouldn't be investigated because it could be perceived as disrespectful?
Cemeteries, for instance.
Right.
We normally don't go into a cemetery that's newer.
Right.
We kind of choose the older cemeteries that you don't really see any new plots going in there. Does that make it right? No. But then again, you know, people ask, well, how would you feel if you saw a paranormal team, you know, standing near your grandparents' grave? I wouldn't really think anything of it. I mean, if you're doing a seance trying to wake my grandparents from the dead, yeah, I might kick your ass. But that's not what we're doing.
No.
You know, you know, I mean, I feel like I think the locations that we investigate, I feel like we're pretty. You know, I think we're pretty cautious with where we go. I would never investigate the World Trade site. I'll never do it. I don't think anybody should do it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say yes or no. I personally, that's my personal opinion. I would never do it. I would never do the Ground Zero World Trade. I would never do it.
I have a rule of thumb. So
if a team did it, okay, I'm not going to sit here and badmouth them, but make sure you are ready to take on that responsibility. Because if you do get EVPs of family members or whatnot, you better be prepared to present that to those family members. That's why I won't do it. It's not my place. It's not my business. It's just.
I mean, the last thing I want to do in that situation is, you know, pick up screams or anything like that. It's horrifying. Like, I wouldn't have anything to do with it. My rule of thumb is I don't want to investigate anything that's happened after I was born. That's usually my base rule of thumb. Not to say that there aren't different circumstances, but anything prior to the 80s is fair game. That's just how I look at it. That's just my rule of thumb. It didn't happen in my lifetime, then to me it's kind of fair game. But if it's happened within my lifetime, then I tend to veer away from it for the most part. And there are obviously, you know, exceptions to the rule, but
9/11's a tough one. That's a tough one. I would never do it. But then again, I would do, you know, Flight 800, TWA, Flight 800.
Right.
I would go off of, you know, Smith's Point and
right.
You know, but that's different. It's different. It's not the same. That's. I mean, I would do Pearl Harbor. Most people wouldn't.
I would do Pearl Harbor.
Maybe some people would think it's too soon, but I would do it.
Concentration camps?
Auschwitz, yeah. I would investigate Auschwitz. Absolutely.
I would do that.
Yeah, I would do it.
Before 1980.
Trying to think what other tragics. There's not really a lot of tragic stuff. I mean, the biggest thing is always 9/11 in our lifetime. Tragedy-wise, in our lifetime, really the only two that really stand out is Flight 800 and 9/11. I can't really think of.
I mean, I wouldn't go to Columbine. I wouldn't go to, you know, where some of these school shootings happen to do. My rule of thumb is to not do any of that stuff.
I wouldn't do a school shoot. I mean,
you know, well, there are people that do. They'll go there like the next fucking day. It's messed up.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. Just like I wouldn't do like somebody's gravesite, like, you know, like Paul Walker, for instance.
Right.
I wouldn't go and investigate that crash scene. You know, that's not our style. We don't do that.
Our experience in ghost hunting is more generalized. We're not looking for. I mean, unless there are urban myths where there are certain people and you have names and stuff. That's one thing. But like, we're not specifically looking for any one person in particular. We're looking for something that is there that's looking to speak with us.
Right.
You know,
that needs help.
That needs help.
That's
yeah.
our motto.
Yeah. So.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I think it also has to do a lot with how you investigate. Makes a big difference. I mean, I'm sure like even going to something like a cemetery, there's a big difference between what we do, which is, you know, sit down, maybe try to get some EVPs, as opposed to like kicking a gravestone and trying to rile something up or something like that. And I think that brings a lot of the respect into it. So like even at those types of places, I mean, there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it.
Oh yeah, no,
definitely.
absolutely. I agree with that.
There are definitely some places that are just like you said, I wouldn't want to get an EVP of somebody's family member in their last moments or something. That to me is just, I don't want to have to deal with that. So there, it can be definitely.
I feel like a lot of the, I feel like it takes time for someone that passes away tragically or something like that to realize what's happened, and to come to their own copes with it, and then move on, and then just try and communicate because they're looking out. That's why I think you need that buffer. You know, you look at a lot of paranormal things that happen nowadays. They're not recent things. People are seeing people in Victorian outfits. They're seeing people from the early 1900s. They're not seeing somebody who just passed away a week ago. And there are claims where, yes, that does happen. You know, there's a ghost of Elvis that's always looking for a ride home and stuff like that in Tennessee. But I mean,
I don't think at any time, like even if I lived till I'd say 95 years old, you know, I still, even at that age, I would still be like,
I wouldn't do it.
It's still not the right time. You know, like that's just.
I think that's for somebody else's generation to take up that mantle when the time comes.
200 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's very subjective. I mean, one person could find offensive, someone else wouldn't.
Right. Find consoling. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But I think they're, you know, personally, you know, I think kind of my rule of thumb would be, if you're visiting a site where someone's direct family member could show up while you're investigating and be like, what the hell are you doing? As opposed to like, hey, that's my great grandfather's house, grave, whatever, it's different. And I think that's where your timeline comes in.
Right.
You know, ground zero, you know, those people whose sons, husbands, brothers, sisters, you know, they died there. If they could show up while you were doing the EVP session, I can understand why they would be upset about that. Right. You know, like
I get that, but then the cemetery isn't much far off. When we investigate a cemetery, I mean, some of them aren't that old.
No,
some of them aren't. You know, some of them you're talking. We've seen people buried within the past 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I mean, the difference between that would be if, you know, say if we did get an EVP and we know, hey, it's coming from this person specifically. Yeah, you can try to contact them. It's a different, you know, hey, you know, we investigate the cemetery, blah, 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 this is what we caught. As opposed to, hey, I'm investigating, you know, ground zero, which is, come again? What were you doing there? You know, like, it's different. It's a tough one. I think it's the approach. I think it's also the approach and how you do it, you know, like, I would never do this, and I would never do ground zero. I had, my ex's dad, we weren't even investigating, we were at St. Paul's Chapel. And he had an audio recorder, turned it on, and we heard fire engines go by. And all he said was fire, fire, fire. That's what he said. And in the audio, you hear, is it a trigger? I don't think so. Was the screw from the World Trade? I mean, it's right there. You can't tell if it was or not. There was also a fire in St. Paul's Chapel down here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but you be real careful what you record, because I'm telling you right now, there's many triggers. A plane flying by can be a trigger. Sirens are a trigger. You know, people screaming can be a trigger. So many triggers that can happen up there. You know, as even a subway moving by underneath the ground, causing that shake.
Just right. Yeah.
You know, I won't do it. I don't want to. I don't. When it comes to that.
And again, definitely, to your point, it's definitely the approach. Like, I would probably be annoyed. Like, if I saw Ghost Adventures was doing an episode of Ground Zero, it'd probably piss me off.
You would never see that because I'm gonna tell you right now, that would be their last day on Earth. Because you'd have every fucking New Yorker.
Gunning for it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you get your ass handed to you.
But if I found out that, say, you know, a relative of a victim went down there and did, you know, their own little personal investigation and
I wouldn't-
position,
right.
I wouldn't begrudge them that.
No, yeah, I would.
That's different. There's
That's
a
different.
specific,
That's
there's a
different.
specific connection in
That's
that moment.
different.
They're looking for answers.
Right.
They're not trying to rattle cages. They're not trying to. Not that we would, but like they're looking for something different.
And even if a
They're looking
family
for something
member,
specific.
even if a family member contacted us and asked us to do it, I still wouldn't do it.
Right.
I would tell them, hey, buy these this recorder. If you want us to analyze what you do, absolutely, and it's between us, no problem. But I'm not going to be the one holding the recorder down there and can happen. I still wouldn't do it. But if they did it, if a family member did it and they kept it to themselves, that's a different story.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that.
Yep.
Question.
Yeah. Anybody else? Have anything on that? No? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments section below. You can also click like, share, and subscribe, and you can click the little notification bell to know all of our content is being uploaded to YouTube. Thank you guys very much for joining us on this latest edition of Ghost News Network. And until next time, take care, guys.